What's up, guys? Have you ever wondered why we call today Good Friday? I mean, a day where Jesus was brutally murdered. I know I have, and I'd like to share some thoughts with you that I have on that. But first, my name's Blake. I'm the campus pastor at our Wise location, Highlands Fellowship Wise location. And I just want to say how grateful I am to have the opportunity to share my heart with you on this Friday of our Holy Week devotional series. It's been awesome. I hope you've found some value in the content that has surrounded this Holy Week devotion. But first, for the benefit of anyone who doesn't know, Good Friday is the Friday before Easter Sunday. It's the day where Jesus was crucified, right? And the results of that changed the course of humanity. And what man meant for evil at that time, God meant for good. And back to the question of how can we call today Good Friday when Jesus was murdered so ruthlessly? I don't think we can even call it a murder because Jesus willingly laid down his life. And in 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 through 20, we read this: "For you know that it was not with perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your forefathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. He was chosen before the creation of the world, but was revealed in these last times for your sake." So his death was carefully planned and ordained by God from the beginning of mankind. And Good Friday, it marks the day when wrath and mercy met at the cross. That's why Good Friday is so dark, yet it's so good. And if it's clear that Jesus died on the cross for the sin of the entire world, then we have to realize that it wasn't the Jews or the Romans who murdered Jesus, but it was our sin that crucified him. It was our sin that put Jesus on the cross. We're guilty, and Jesus was paying the price for us. And from that viewpoint, we can look back and say, what terrible thing happened then was truly meant for good, right? And isn't that the perfect metaphor of our walk with God? He brings us in and turns our struggles of the past into life-changing stories. And that's why he died, to rewrite your story. If I could, I want to share just a quote with you from Max Lucado. And he says, "The journey to the cross didn't begin in Jericho. It didn't begin in Galilee. It didn't begin in Nazareth. It didn't even begin in Bethlehem. The journey to the cross began long before, as the echo of the crunching of the fruit was still sounding in the garden. Jesus was leaving for Calvary." So I want to leave you with this, that Good Friday wasn't the murder of Jesus, but the birth of God's righteousness and peace. And that it's available to all of us. And we should rejoice in that. So as we head into this weekend, I would love for us to reflect on, not only what Jesus did for us, because there's so much surrounding that. So that is the primary importance, but also remember where we came from and those trials and those impossible situations of our past that at that moment there was nothing good about. It was maybe the most trying time of our life. But that we can now look back and say, what was meant for evil, what was meant for my downfall, God turned around and made it work out for my good. And so we can celebrate with joy that Jesus paid for our sins, and we will not see death because he rose for us. So thanks for tuning in today to really dig into what Good Friday and Easter is all about. I want to encourage you to tune in to our Good Friday gatherings this evening, and then also our gathering coming around this Sunday, all online. I hope to see you there, and we love you. We're praying for you, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks.